Hey everybody, it's Casey Davis with My Life on the Me List. In this video, we're going to begin our journey through minimalism as I transition into a more minimalist life. We're going to talk a little bit about what minimalism is, how it got started, and then I'm going to show you some of my first steps of cleaning up my things and starting to pack and begin that whole journey. So let's get at it. All right, so let's start out with what is minimalism. Minimalism is an idea and a lifestyle of really owning and possessing the items that just bring you joy and bring purpose to your life, not living in excess of things. Now, it definitely doesn't mean deprivation, so it doesn't mean like you can't live with anything or anything that brings you joy. It's just realizing what actually brings you joy and what brings purpose to your life, really.
So there was this documentary that I watched, and it's directed by this YouTube guy that I follow, Matt Diavella.
And it follows Ryan and Joshua, who are the owners of the Minimalist.com blog. And they kind of wrote a book and have this whole journey about minimalism. And they go around the country and kind of share what it's like to be a minimalist and how to get started and things like that. And so it's just a really cool documentary. And I have a link to that in the description below. So you definitely check it out. So why am I starting on a more minimalist lifestyle? Through my journey of self-love and self-care, going up to my 29th year, and the whole reason why I started this YouTube channel was to share my experience of what it's like being a gay man going through his 29th year and kind of rediscovering himself, basically. And I thought I'd share it with the world and with all of you guys, and so thank you for following, and if you've enjoyed the content that I've shared so far, feel free to subscribe to my channel. You can always follow me on my Facebook and my Instagram under Casey Davis, My Life on the Me List, and just kind of continue that journey on with me. The reason why I really am starting a more minimalist lifestyle, and I talked about this in a previous video, is I've really given stuff a lot of power over my life and the status and where I hold myself as a person. Going through my recent divorce and some of the guilt and the, self-loathing that I kind of put myself through from my decision to go ahead and get divorced. I ended up seeing a therapist for a little bit, and I did get some help with some antidepressants to kind of get me through that time, and really talking about what my insecurities are and kind of how I was filling this void that I experienced with stuff. So I always wanted to buy newer phone, newer clothes, bigger, nicer houses, bigger, nicer cars. I just felt like I had this hole that I kept trying to fill with things that weren't actually giving me purpose. And so through this journey of self-love and self-care and through this YouTube channel, I really came to the understanding of what I was doing, and I wanted to make a change. And I come across tidying up on Netflix and then this minimalist YouTube channel, and it really just started to click, and realizing like what things I actually want to bring with me into a new place and really downsizing. I am going from a 2,700 square foot house, over 2,700 square foot house, to just over 900 square foot apartment. And there's a lot of stuff that I am coming to terms with that I don't need, that don't bring me joy like I thought they once did. And so this whole process has been really eye-opening and really interesting for me to go through. And at the beginning of it, I was actually really hesitant to get rid of anything. I kind of felt like I was being punished in kind of a way. And I had a lot of conflict with that because it was my own decision and my own choice to go down this path of getting divorced and doing this journey on my own a little bit. I had to come to terms with a lot of that. I was still putting a lot of value into the possessions and the things, and I would actually get really upset about, well, I don't get this. Why don't I get this? I feel like you're getting all of these things. And I was just in a really dark space. And so going through therapy and understanding where this sense of loss and why I was holding on to things and where that actually comes from, I was able to figure out that I don't need this stuff. And a more minimalist lifestyle totally fits my life and where I'm at right now. So a little update on kind of what I'm doing and where I'm working at so far with my minimalist transition and getting ready to start packing things up. I'm gonna go through the same steps that Marie Kondo is talking about as well, and kind of take you through that journey and see if there's anything that doesn't spark joy in my life as I'm kind of packing things up. It, except for those, but I won't show those. So, I love this. I got this when I was 16. It's from Starlight Mountain Theater. It's very good. One of my very first shows. So, it gives me a lot of joy still. So All right, so behind me you can kind of see we're getting started on separating a lot of our holiday stuff, and so it might take a little bit of time, but we've got our tidying up inspiration on. So Marie Kondo is going to help us out and making sure that we find joy in each of the pieces. So went through and separated a bunch of our stuff, and so I've got my pile over here, and then the other pile's over there that's going with my ex, and then we did a donate pile as well. So went through it. It only took a couple hours, and there's a few things that we'll probably still go through later on and get rid of as we go through the actual holidays and get that all taken care of. It's kind of a fun process. It's neat to go through all of your stuff. I'm excited to kind of look at it again in the next couple months and figure out what else I can maybe possibly get rid of and replace in the future with better things, or not even replace. Just depends on kind of where things fit in my new lifestyle in the smaller space, because like I mentioned before, I'm going from 2,700 square feet to just over 900 square feet, so it's a big difference in size and the amount of stuff that I'll need. I'm ready and I'm excited to get new things, to start a new chapter, be in a new place, a new relationship, just grow. And I'm nervous to see what happens, but I'm also really excited to see what happens. I've been working on a few different personal growth things that I'll be sharing with you in future videos, so definitely subscribe to see any of those. And I'm really interested to hear on kind of the self-love and self-care that you guys have been working through yourself. I'd love to have you guys comment below on some of the struggles that you've gone through recently and how you got through it, and if you felt kind of the same thing that I did. I felt a lot of shame and a lot of insecurity for having to get help and for needing help, because I grew up with the sense of I'm in control of my own emotions, and not feeling like I was in control of my emotions was really tough for me to get, and I didn't want to accept that I needed help for a little bit. So comment down below on how you got through your tough situation, or if you're going through a tough situation, what you're going through, and we can kind of lean on each other through this whole journey, because that's what this whole journey is about. I'm excited to pack things up and to move and get through that process. So that'll be the next video, is actually packing things up in boxes and renting the U-Haul. And then I'm thinking of doing a third video of actually getting into my apartment and showing how I am setting things up and that kind of stuff. So stay tuned for the journey. I'm really excited to share it all with you and to see where we can go, and I look forward to reading those comments and hearing about your journey. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful. If you want to continue following me through my 29th year as I grow through self-love and self-care, hit that subscribe button. Feel free to follow me on Facebook and Instagram under Casey Davis, My Life on the Me List. All right, everyone, remember, you're important, you matter, and I'm so grateful for you taking the time to follow my channel. All right, until next time.